Pleasant good morning, one and all. Pleasant good morning. Welcome to today's episode of Speaking Out, Exposing Corruption and Incompetence. Today is Wednesday, the 28th day of August, 2024. Imagine that, 28 days, just a few more days, and the month of August, the 8th month of the year, is at an end. So welcome. Share the live. Let them know, let the students know, let others know that we are on live this morning. It took me some effort to get here this morning. As you would see, you don't have the usual background and so on. I had some challenges to make sure that I'm here to bring you the credible, valuable information. But as we have said repeatedly, nothing is going to stop us from coming here and bringing you the information. Nothing. We will try to overcome all the challenges. With your support and with God's help, we are going to overcome whatever challenge is thrown of us, either technological challenge or challenge by those people call them trench crapo, the amphibians, whatever challenge is thrown our way, we are going to come and we are going to make every effort to overcome them so that we can be here to bring you the credible, valuable information. Share the live. This morning the program was scheduled just after 7. Again, we had some challenges scheduling the program. I dig up, I run around, do all manner of things. It wasn't getting to be scheduled on Facebook, and then I had to log on. Eventually, I got through, and here we are this morning. And I said to you, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, like the page on Facebook, and you are going to be able to get the information. When the school gate was open this morning, we have lots and lots of students, scores and scores of students, almost at a record number. You're here waiting, and I'm sure we are not going to disappoint you. My colleague, Mr. Conway, is already in the studio, always ready to go. A wonderful day, Wednesday, the 28th day of August. Another day that the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. Let's give praise and thanks for being in the land of the living. It's a privilege to be in the land of the living, and we must continuously give praise to the Almighty for allowing us to see this new day. So yes, here we are again this morning, and I welcome you. I encourage you to do the thing when you come on, as we say, give us a thumbs up. Show your appreciation. Once you show that and you kick in the algorithms, the program is going to become even more popular, and we are going to be motivated even more to come do the research and to bring you the information. We have lots and lots to tell you this morning, lots of information to provide. So give us a thumbs up, share the live, and we are going to get with it in a short while. As you know, again, I always have to remind you of the format. We do the roll call, and then we do some announcements, and then we go into the real subjects that we announce that we're going to deal with. And there are others as well. Other subjects will come up, and we're going to make sure we bring the information to you. So give us a thumbs up, and yeah. But let me run the roll call very quickly. As I said, when we scheduled this morning, I scheduled just about 7, having had some challenges. And then the first person was on from the UK. Wayne is here very early in the schoolyard after now. Then he came in at about 6:57, and then a number of students came in at 6:58, including Peter, including Aileen, and Rhonda. This is Rhonda Chance. And then shortly after we had Keith. Then we had Sydney, Tessa from the UK again, Sharon, Courtney from New Jersey, Raul from Brooklyn, Ulrich from Crane, West Coast, Demerara, Lennox, Isabella, Trati, Derek is here very early, Uncle Paul, Lynette from the UK is here, Carlton, my squad mate, 9430, Carlton, all the best to you on that procedure that you have to undergo shortly. Our prayers are with you. Brian from Brooklyn is here, Carl, then it is Tom Kiat, the one and only Tom Kiat, Anthony from Peters Hall, then it is Cecile, the original black man is here, Winston from California, then it was John, Kenneth, and Kenneth is from Maryland, Malcolm, Malvok, then after that is Vibert from Brooklyn, or from I should say New York. I'm not sure which state, which province he's in. K is here. Terrence from Canada, 9795. Aubrey, Canada, 9053. Jakey from Maryland is here. Akko, Desri is from Georgia. Then we have another Rawl. This is Rawl Simple, 11752. Not one of my boys in the days, very good youngster. Yeah, good youngster. Me and Trim Adiana under our wings. Machu, Lynette is here. And then it is Sean from Schenectady, Brennan, Colin from Queens, Carlisle, Emerson, Gordon from Canada, Pauline, Oaktown Bobbies, West Coast Bobbies, Oaktown in the house. Emerson, then you have Era from Queens, Pamela from West Dem, and Pamela says she has Neville with her this morning. So there's two. We get two for the price of one there. Vibort, old detective, 7464. Detectives like Vibort and others was groaning when they see what's going on in the force now. Then it was Jean, Walterine, Pito from Queens, Winston from the UK, Magnell, and then after Magnell, it is Ovid. I think he made a mistake with his number. He came back and said 937. Evelyn, Princess Hall from Lamar Springs. Rayburn, Simple is here. Puran Ramdas, he is visually impaired. Mandela is here. Then it is Randolph, Joan, Maureen, Hazel, Clarence, Earl, Bert, Allison, Denise, and Denise is from Florida. We have Easy, Lucius from Maryland, Abera 1111. Dexter is in the house. Then it is David, Lorraine, Leon Schwartz, 10025 is here. Then one Lena, Wayne, Pito, Selwyn, our renowned competent lawyer, is in the house very early. He came in at 7:39. Wayne is here. Felicia, Floyd. Then it was Leon. Leon, again, belated. Well, we had wished you birthday. Yesterday was your birthday. I hope you had a wonderful day. Tashan, I can't recall seeing this person before. Welcome. Safan, Sean, George Mars. He says his number was 8727. Then we have Patricia from Philadelphia. The African Queen is here. Then it's Richard, Rohan, Debbie from Providence, Patricia, Moses, Joseph, Colin. Colin says his number was, I remember Colin Aaron very well, 6984. I remember Colin very well. Jacqueline, Denise, the secretary is here. Everett, Paul Archer from Canada. Barbara, John Rogers, Ronald, Orin Bade from the UK is here. Then Grace, welcome. Danny, another outstanding former detective is here. Monica, Kevin, former commander, retired assistant commissioner is here. Tiffany, Colin, his number is 8941. Then it is Marcus, Nigel, Neville, Barlett there, back in the hills. He got deported from Georgetown. He was in Georgetown on Monday. Just sent back to the hills. Go back in the hills. Then we had Floyd. Then it was Winslow. After Winslow, he said from West Point, U.S. Military Academy in New York. Ulrich, my squad mate, 9555. Mary, Brenda, Anthony. Then the other Rhonda Lane is here. Then I'm still in the house. Tilula. After that, it was Duan. Doreen, my squad mate from Canada, W349. Then it was Umi. Then Queenie, Dorrit, Dwayne, Sandra, Court. Court says his number was 14598. Samora is here. Vibord, the man from the East Bank. Charlene, welcome. Charlene is here. William, Kerry from Maryland. Clive from the UK. Michael from the British Virgin Islands is here. Jacko, you're still in Corrigan. We're gonna deport you, Thank you. You're enjoying too much Region 6. You gotta go back to Georgia. Don is here. Welcome, Don. Welcome. Phil, then it was Joe, Howard, Marcia, George Carla from BV, Lennox, that's Lennox James, Russ Ricardo, Daniel, another Linden man, is here. Vernon, Delan, I know Delan is from the US, Amanda, Connolly, Trevor, Melville, Richard, Sean, Monica, Clay, Bobby Sman, Barbara, Marcus, Cello is in the house. Michael, Sheena, Simoa, Philip, R. Crawford, he says regulation number was 11256. Melissa, Audrey, Angela, West Coast Borbies, Ann, Sharon, Forbes, Cranston, 15837. Denise, sorry. And then it was Junior, Sandrine Baird, Monty. Then it was Annette. Then Thomas. Barbara, welcome, my dear. Good to see you. Patricia from New Jersey is here. Valletta. Then it was Diane Aral, the last person on YouTube. And then when we went live, we had O'Malley on Facebook, Karen, then Edward. Edward, you miss out this today. Because now you number one, you don't know what number three. Carlton Popo, always there in the I numbers. And then it was Lynette is here from Barbados. And the list goes on and on and on. If I continue, you're going to take up the full 2 hours. So in terms of the announcements, let me tell you what we have here. We have to announce the birthday today of Woman Inspector Donette Phoenix. She's celebrating a natal day today. And then we have a former member, Karen Court. Those of you older police remember Karen was an outstanding sprinter. She lives in one of the islands, I think now. She is up celebrating a natal day today. And some belated birthday. I said Carlton Dubisette had a birthday yesterday. We did wish him pre-birthday greetings on Monday. And then we learned recently that retired Assistant Commissioner Ronald Fraser had a birth anniversary recently too. I want to express congratulations to all those who are observing today and those who celebrated recently. Hope that the good Lord will continue to bless and keep you, give you all the things that you wish for yourself. So that is in terms of the birthday greetings. Then the next thing I have to remind my squad mates, course 74, that it is this Saturday, the 31st of August, that we're going to have our 50th anniversary get-together, those of us in North America, I should say. Well, it's open to even those in Guyana and elsewhere. They want to travel, but it will be kept from 7 o'clock on Saturday, that is this Saturday coming the 31st of August. And there's one minor adjustment. The restaurant is La Mode Restaurant, and it is 1401 Bedford Avenue. I think we had said 1402 before. That is to be corrected. It is 1401 Bedford Avenue, Brooklyn. So let's get together. I am looking forward to meeting with my squad mates. Some of us would not have seen each other since we left training school 50 years plus ago. So that will be a grand occasion, I am sure. And then, who can forget, before I go further, about the cricket? Yesterday, West Indies beat South Africa again, 3 straight. Aileen and others, Jakey, yeah, celebrated, man. Ulrich, yeah, celebrated. Yeah, we have to celebrate them. We catch them. They say when you catch a paku, you got bossy back. And this is exactly what we did to South Africa. We don't care. They're going to tell you that Klaassen didn't come and Miller didn't come. We weren't responsible for that. They brought the team and we came out and we bust the back. 3-0. All we got to do, keep the momentum going. That's all we have to do. Keep the momentum going. Let me bring in Mr. Conway, and then we're going to move on. CC, welcome.
Morning. Praise the Lord. We're in the land of...
Yeah, go ahead.
Praise the Lord. We're in the land of the living, doing God's work. Ditto to all those persons who celebrated their birthdays.
I think you have some problem there. CC, I think you got some problem with your you actually the image is actually frozen and the signal is breaking up when you're coming in. So I would suggest that maybe you log out and try to log back in. Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, all right.
Let me add him back and see. Yes, okay. You know, we get these technical challenges from time to time, but as I said to you earlier, we shall overcome whatever challenge is thrown our way. We are going to overcome to make sure that we come here and we bring you the credible, valuable information. These things will happen, but they are not going to deter us Well, as I said, whether it's technological challenges, whether it's the amphibians interfering, we ain't care. Let them do what they're gonna do. We're gonna do what we have to do to make sure that we can bring you the credible, valuable information. Now, as I await the return of Mr. Conway, let me tell you again, Code 74, it is Saturday coming. We are going to meet Lamode, 14, what's the address I gave you? Lamode is 1401 Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn. And we are expected to be there from 7 to have something to drink, have something to eat, and reminisce on old times. And for me, it's just an opportunity to meet with my squad mates. All of us now are geriatrics because I know, it's a funny thing. I joined just over 18, and then he was a little boy. And it was amazing that some of the guys who were in their 20s, mid-20s, and so on, you see them as old men. We saw them as old men. And now look. We're all in our late 60s, early 70s, mid-70s, and God has blessed us to be in the land of the living, and we have to give praise, we have to give thanks, we have to show our gratitude. Now, the next thing, let me move on. It was reported, got a report recently, that the administration of the Guyana Police Force, listen to this carefully, the administration of the Guyana Police Force is refusing to accept letters of resignation from the organization. Over the past months, there have been lots and lots of people who are requesting to withdraw from the Guyana Police Force. And I understand, based on what I was advised, is in the hundreds. And the administration has taken a decision that they are not accepting any resignation letter from anyone. And the effect of that is that you have people there who don't want to be there. You have people who don't want to be there. And of course, morale is down. They're not going to do much. They go to work. Those who decide to go to work, some of them may be reporting sick. People don't want to remain in the force. Why are you forcing them to remain? What sense does that make? Someone wants to resign, you should allow them to resign. It makes no sense to keep someone in the force who does not want to be there. And but my understanding is that is exactly what is happening. People have tendered their resignations in the hundreds, and the administration now is refusing to accept those resignations. I hope they would clarify that, and I hope it is not, the information might not be 100% accurate. But you remember, only this year, the acting commissioner, the extended quarter himself, at the officers' conference, did say that they have problems in attracting and retaining ranks. He said so. So that is the reason why I'm saying this, because having regards to what was said by the acting commissioner, and now you're hearing that people are resigning by the hundreds, then it gives some, it sounds credible, because he said they have a difficulty in the force in attracting and retaining ranks. Mr. Conway is back. Let me bring in him. CC, welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, we're hearing you good now. Carry on.
Okay. All right. I'm saying happy to be in the land of the living to do God's work. And I want to shout out to a pastor from West Coast Bobbies. I won't call his name, but he's an ardent listener. And he called me this morning to give me some inspiration and to give the program some inspiration. So I want to say thank you, Pastor, and you continue to do God's work both locally and overseas, and we will do the same here.
Yes, you see, I made the point about this. I understand that ranks have been tendering their resignations by the hundreds over the past couple of months, and the administration now is taking a position, that is the police administration, that they are no longer accepting letters of resignation from members of the force. And the upshot of that is that people are there, demotivated, they don't want to remain, they're not being allowed to leave, and I understand it is leading to a breakdown of discipline, because we say, well, they want to resign, therefore we can do whatever we want to do, they're going to fire we neither. Because obviously there's a problem with the number of ranks in the force, and if you don't want people to resign, it means that you're going to be reluctant to fire them as well, and therefore there is or likely to be a breakdown in discipline. Mr. Conway, what are your views on that?
I remember listening to this extended squatter at the police houses conference, the last conference, and he said there was a problem of attracting persons to the force and retaining them. And then to boot, what they do, they raise the entry level, academic level to that, I think, CXC and higher. So I know they're making out, but I I heard about lots of persons standing the resignation and the force not allowing them to come out. But there's so bad, you know. But I hope it is not true. I hope it is not true.
I hope that, but as again, I say because of the statement that was made by the acting commissioner earlier this year, one tends to believe because he said they have difficulty in retaining ranks. He said so. This is not, as I say, get it from the horse's mouth. He said they have difficulty in retaining ranks, and therefore, if now you're hearing that ranks are resigning or tendering their resignation by the hundreds in the past couple of months, and they're refusing to accept it, then it begs the question as to what really is going on in the organization. As I said again, you know, we have been saying this, it is time that the government, the Minister of Home Affairs, if he is awake, and they look into what is going on in the police force. You have massive corruption allegation against senior officers. Brutus is being investigated. We know that. That is what they said. We saw with our own eyes, we heard with our own ears, the commissioner being complicit in this allegation of money laundering and financial impropriety. These are things that are there. These are not allegations that are being made, right? We know of all the difficulties that they have been having. A lot of difficulties, and people sit back there and you're not hearing anything, at least anything that makes sense. You're not hearing anything that makes sense. And I am saying an organization as important as the Guyana Police Force, with all that is going on, officers at the senior level fighting among themselves, Pajram writing a letter to the crime chief, Ramana writing letter, myself writing letter, writing, as we say, pen pal letter, basically buse out letter, diplomatic buse out letter, exchange of letters at that senior level. Pajram getting joked down. That's the only way you can put it. For those of you who don't understand what we mean by joked down, he was Commander Regional 4C. Following the exchange of letters between himself and the crime chief, he requested and was allowed to go on leave. That is Pajram. When the leave finished, he is sent to the what I call the strategic planning unit. And as we said before, for those of you who don't know, that is a park-up place. The park-up places you have there and Mounted Branch. Once here, a person is transferred to the strategic planning unit, is joked down, that person gets joked down. And that is what is going on. So you can imagine what is going on at the top, and obviously that is going to filter down. And we're saying it is time that the Minister of Home Affairs, when he wakes up, and the President and all them try to get a handle of what is going. Perhaps it is not too late for them to make decisive interventions, the right type of interventions, not this thing with intervening for people to be charged. I know it doesn't strike me as strange. I am trying to find my farewell speech when I retired in 2010, because I alluded to some of these problems which were emerging at the time. But unfortunately, nobody nipped it in the bud, and therefore you have that. When I conducted the Commission of Inquiry into the plot to assassinate President Granger, some of these things were revealed. Those who followed would have seen the antagonistic relationship at the top between those people there. And I pointed it out. I said, this is harmful to the organization. And I recommended that it should be dealt with, even if you had to move some of them off the scene. Did do that. I made those recommendations because the things were obvious then. And it would appear previous government took some action, but perhaps not serious action enough. And now these days they want them there because they can tell them do this, do that, charge this body, charge that body. That is what is going on. And I'm saying It is extremely serious when we talk about national security, when we talk about national development. You can't have proper security and proper development when you have a dysfunctional police force. And there's absolutely no doubt that the force as it is dysfunctional. And I have to say that you have good officers, but it's leadership. They need leadership. You are going to say officers, you have good members of the force. Officers not necessarily talking only about the gazetted ranks, but at all levels, you have dedicated, honest, hard-working people. But they are poorly led in most cases. And once you have poor leadership, you're going to get these issues. You are going to get these issues. And that is what is going on. Let me bring in Mr. Conway to comment on it, and then we're going to move on. CC?
Yeah. And the thing is that the morale of the force is very, very low, maybe at all-time low. And let me just explain, morale is how you feel, how the people feeling. And if you have persons at the top are incompetent, I always say, when you try your incompetent best, even if you try your incompetent best, you're still incompetent. And something needs to be done. Too much bickering. There's no synergy. There's no synergy. There's grumbling among the senior officers, and all because the government ain't doing the right thing. Nobody really looking into it. The force is a very important constitutional body, body for this country. But here's it: you have a lot of disunity from top to bottom, and nobody seems capable of doing it. Although, and I must mention, they have some damn good police at the top and right through the line. Very, very, very good police. But some of them are being sidelined due to political reasons. And unless you take politics out of the police force, it will continue to slide.
And again, we talk about morale. What you expect? People are being called out all in the morning to clean. The policemen I'm talking about call out all in the morning to clean shit and clean things around the place, forced into doing so. Forced into the morale must be low. A lot of those persons, if you were to do a survey, many of them would not have been there had it not been, they feel threatened. When you tell people Saturday morning, 4:45, falling at the TSC Square to be checked off and to be briefed to go and clean. Then the extended squatter himself is there briefing them and checking people's name. Those things are demoralizing. Those things are demoralizing. 5 o'clock in the morning, they didn't care where they had to come from. They had to report and come there. So you work all week in some cases. Saturday's a day. Some people, 7 days Adventists want to go to church and so on. You want to go to the market, or you just want to relax. But no, you are coerced into reporting to clean up the city, clean up drains, clean up seawall, filth, and all such things. I sure if you go up on the seawall this Saturday morning, I always have a condom and all this other thing you got to clean up. Yeah? Sanitary napkins and all them things might very well be there. Policemen have to clean those things up. Policemen. And you're wondering why people are resigning from the force in droves. They want to know why people are resigning. People are demoralized. They are demoralized. And it is not because we are saying that. Look at the evidence you have there. People, the ranks are demoralized. And there's a matter, this maybe we segue straight into that, CC. I have seen in recent times more than one tapes where policemen are being put in some very, very troublesome situation. Perhaps the most egregious one that I saw is where some male ranks are trying to arrest a female. She has on only her brassiere and panties, and male rank manhandling her. I don't know what she did. Right? And the people around are abusive to the police. They're cussing them out in the most foul language. And what was disturbing to me, to see a man with cakey clothes there, a man inspector above, and there was no indication that he had intervened to diffuse and to de-escalate the situation. No indication. So here it is, you have a crowd, almost verging on being a mob, surround the police, expletives, and the policemen now, 2 male ranks, Olan and this woman, the Shibe, Pranti, and Brazier. I see one of them and going out by she breasts and all them. These things are uncalled for. And again, I say many times, I'm not blaming the police ranks, because it is clear, it is evident that they are not adequately trained to deal with this situation. They are not adequately trained. You get into a situation like that, how you de-escalate. And one of the things that I have seen is that I mentioned this before, the policemen are at a distinct disadvantage, policemen in Guyana, because they arm them with a firearm, either a pistol, a revolver, or an assault or a semi-automatic rifle. That is what they go out on duty with. So when they get into a situation where you expect them to shoot to deal with it, and I have said before, it is time that the police, the government, invest in what they call less than lethal weapons. So when policemen go there, they have less than lethal, they should get button, they should have taser, they should have pepper spray, and those less than lethal things. So when they encounter a situation like that, they can act, pepper spray, taser, and this type of thing. Get those things and train so the policemen can be more responsive, can protect themselves better. But when you send them there with a gun, what you tell them, when you get into a situation where they must just shoot, they can't shoot in those circumstances, even though over the years some of them have. But they can't justify shooting in situations like that. So that is why you have got to provide them with what we call less than lethal weapon. Baton should be mandated. Back in the day when we were in the force, the baton was one of your appointments that you had, so much so that the trousers that you were issued with had what we call a baton pocket, a pocket specially designed for a baton to go in. So that when you encounter certain situations, you can use baton. You don't have to resort to deadly force. In modern police forces now, they have pepper spray, you have taser, even other chemical weapons that you can use without resorting to deadly force to subdue suspects, to bring situations under control. And therefore, I say that these are some of the things that are required. I know it's sad that you have a police association. All of them who were installed there by Brutus a couple of years ago, they went there, perhaps the only aim is to get promoted. And I think every single one of them were promoted. But these are things that should be making representation to the administration. Policemen are going out there and they are exposed. The police association should be vocal in advocating for policemen to be given less than lethal weapon. Modern force, all this money they're spending all over the place, they're detailing a car from the ministry for $800 and something $1,000. Big runnings going on in the ministry. All of these money is being wasted and being corruptly, they've been stolen and corruptly used. And you can't invest to make sure that your policemen are better protected and better equipped when they go out on duty. Something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. And again, we say to them, forget about the messengers. Listen to the message. Listen to the message. Policemen, through their association, police and a union in Guyana, the law doesn't allow for that. So you have a police association that is supposed to represent the welfare interests of members of the force, but they're not doing that. They should be advocating strongly for policemen to be properly equipped when they go out there. But no, the men go out there, they left to the mercies of Tiberius. You give them an assault rifle, you give them a pistol, you give them a revolver. And they know, many of them, that in the circumstances that we described earlier, where the people are abusive to the police, and so on, you can't shoot nobody, justified. You can't be justified in shooting anyone. So you're left there, you stand up like a laughing stock, and people abusing you, they're cussing out the police and all sort of things. These are things Ropes and Ben and all this we should be looking into, but they are not. They're not looking into these things. Us the other day, you heard brought in, they said the police are now equipped with body cameras. Yeah, police, what happened to that? Big nice about body cameras. How effective have those things been? And you have other instruments and other things that you can use to make the policeman's job a little easier. And again, I say less than lethal weapons. Pepper spray, taser, and all of those things. So when you encounter some aggressive person, you can justifiably use these things to subdue them. You don't have to resort to deadly fire. But let me bring in Mr. Conway and hear what he has to say about this.
I, I saw the video, where the policeman and that woman who had on her bare brassiere and underwear, and the action being taken by the police. Some of it, the thing, clear case of indecent assault. They could get charged with indecent assault. But it boils down to training. They don't train anymore in terms of conflict resolution. They don't train in terms of unarmed combat. They don't train about anger management. They don't train about self-esteem and everything. They don't train them self-defense. I remember my time they used to get over at Glasgow as old as he be to come there and do some self-defense. So them police don't do them things. So when they reach a situation, they resolve they solve the problem through the barrel of a gun. They're using the boots, the button, they're using the fist, and sometimes right away through the barrel of gun, they're shooting people without reference to when you may fire. And nobody there coming to front there, and able to de-escalate the situation. Marlon Cake, he turned up there and he made the situation worse. Too much of conflict. They're telling me that the public doesn't have the confidence in the police, and they need to know what conflict resolution. I stressing the point. They need to know anger management, self-defense. You mentioned, Paul, about less lethal force. Those things are supposed to, but I know when you join as a recruit, the first thing they used to give you, call your appointments, the button, the whistle, and the handcuff. Three things: button, whistle, and handcuff. And they say the use of appointments, and you used to get a lecture how to use those appointments. But now, police generally they don't know how to resolve conflict, and that's the big issue. Training in conflict resolution, training in anger management, training in self-esteem, unarmed combat. Those are training that has gone through the window. Therefore, when the police goes to the scene, a little disorderly scene is total chaos. Instead of bringing the situation under control, they make it worse. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, we continue the theme about policemen being demoralized. Let me show you all a video and some. I'm gonna show you all a video and some still photograph. This. In case you don't know where is that, that is they call it the Louis Manor police outpost, what we used to call Tollgate 1 on the quarantine. That is the state. The bridge collapsed some time ago, and my information is that until then, weeks ago, this bridge collapsed. Policemen got to go there. You have an outpost that you expect civilians to go to make report, but that is the state. Look this still photographs. In this oil-rich country, look, this is what you have. The bridge collapsed some time ago, and up to recently, it is still in that state. So policemen got to walk over this to go to work. If people want to make a report, that is what they have to cross to go. And let me say this. This reflects on the people in the command structure, because the bridge wouldn't collapse just like that. There must have been signs of deterioration. Must have been sign of deterioration, And therefore, one would have expected reports to be sent and people to be told that this bridge is in a state of disrepair, come and fix it. But even now that it has collapsed, the bridge has collapsed, policemen got to go across there to go to work. And then again, the question was asked when the president decided recently that they're going to open a police outpost at Border Market. We asked the question. Why? I asked the question. I said Border Market doesn't require a police outpost, because when you look at it from a very strategic level, you put a police outpost there, a building as a police outpost, you have to have it staffed by at least 2 ranks, 24 hours if it's to be effective. And at the same 2 ranks you're putting in there to take report and answer phone can be outside patrolling. They can be outside. They should be outside patrolling. And therefore, the question is, this outpost has been there long, since when the quarantine highway was built way back, I think must be in the early 70s or sometime then. You have the 3 toll gates. This one is at Louis Manor, toll gate 1. Then you have the second one at Hoxtie, Adventure area there. And then you have the third one at 62, because they collected toll. But they stopped collecting toll a long time now. A long time. And now they have converted them into outposts. To do what? How effective have those outposts been? Have they done any analysis to see how many reports are made and all of that? These are some of the issues. People sit there, oh, the president said outpost, so we put an outpost. Nobody can sit down and rationalize that, look, Border Market, we really don't need an outpost. What we need is a robust patrolling system, beat and patrol there during certain hours, especially from early morning when vendors are bringing their goods and when people are frequenting the market. You need foot patrol, you need perhaps bicycle patrol, not mobile patrol. I told you all already that mobile patrols are for certain areas. But when you get a vehicle with 3 or 4 policemen inside driving around, they're going to pass, because many of them don't know about patrol speed. They drive at speeds where they can't really detect and observe anything. So you have to get back where you do foot patrols. The president did make a statement, say, what boots on the ground is something of the past. Well, he don't know what, he didn't understand what he's saying. Because boots on the ground in all police forces, proper, effective police forces, is an essential part of policing. Because if you get drones and you get CCTV cameras and you get helicopters, they can't arrest nobody. You have to have people on the ground to move in to do the arrest. And it is important for them to understand this. So you have these toll gates, the one collapse, the bridge collapse, and they didn't fix it yet. I guess now that we talk, they're going to hustle and they're going to fix it. But then you should reassess. Are these places, these gates effective? What is the purpose of them there now? Have they outlived their usefulness? All of these things are assessments that you expect people at senior management level should sit down and discuss. You have statistics, you have figure to show how many reports were made there in the year by a month. And then you come to realize that the thing ain't serving no it is serving no use. And you might be able to relocate those persons to someplace else where they can be more effective and more useful. That is the way senior management, they talk about ELT, the executive leadership team of the police force. That is what they should be engaged in. That type of analysis they should be engaged in. But no, they aren't doing that. They're gone, and I see some news now where the extended squatter, the acting commissioner, he just away in Region 6, he's sharing out backpack for school. They believe they're politicians. He's sharing out backpack for children to go to school. Nothing wrong with sharing out backpack, but bomb to the local people, the local policemen, they can't do that. You, the commissioner, the extended squatter, have to travel all the way from Georgetown to go to quarantine to say you're distributing backpack. He's playing politician, and in the meanwhile, drive-by shooting, accidents and so on, with frequent regularity. That is what is going on. They have lost sight of the core function, which is the prevention and detection of crime. Police are the core function. You get many of them now playing politicians, including the extended squatter. Not so long ago, he was like the president's bridesmaid. Everywhere the president there, he there behind the president. And then they made a foolish statement to say, the Police Cooperative Communication Unit did say that is what has been going on from time immemorial. Wherever the presidents go, wherever the president goes, the commissioner, they tell them rubbish. Both of us were commanders, and it was never so. Never ever so. The divisional commander will go accompany the president. And that's because you would expect if the president go to division, question might be raised in relation to policing issues within the division that the commander might be asked to respond to. In the case of Georgetown, because of it's the capital and the frequent engagements of the president, then the commander doesn't necessarily have to go to all of these functions. A senior police officer will go there. For the same reason, questions are likely to be asked, and therefore you want an immediate response, so a senior officer is there. But no, that is what's going on. That is what is going on. Let me bring Mr. Conway, and then we're going to move on. Mr. Conway?
I saw the floating bridge, Louis Manoy, and then some reports were submitted to the commander about the state of the bridge. Now the bridge it's weeks now, and nothing is being done. And then if you look at it, there are numerous sawmills in Barbies. Or if you don't want to do a wooden structure, find concrete and do it. This is an oil-rich country. The president said that all the resources that the police wants, he's going to give them. You can't tell me weeks and weeks and weeks they can't do anything with that floating bridge there. Oh, Christ, man, they can't do anything with it. And then it's what you call occupational safety and health issue. I see the Minister of Labor went into Barbies recently and paid 2-day visit. I don't know if he had seen that structure there, that floating bridge there, It's occupation, safety, and health issue. And not only the police using it, civilian. Lo and behold, you have a pregnant woman going across the bridge here and she falls overboard. What is it going to happen? What is going to happen? That people go in there at their own risk. And then they extend his squad. He was in Barbies recently. He was there. I saw the photographs. I saw the video where he went and played some cricket. He got a ball for the president score runs. Some cricket match. I think he bowled the first ball. And then he sped away to Barbies and gone and presenting backpacks to people. Their core functions, they're not looking at. Yeah. And this kind of thing. So and then it come back to your commander. Who is in command? The Region 6 commander. Region 6 commander was a technician. They take a technician, a man who never sit down in his police station and take a report, a man who never take a statement from a witness, more so a statement from an accused, and he's a divisional commander. What do you expect? What do you expect? That if you have incompetence at the top, is going to filter right down to the bottom. And I was saying, when you're incompetent and you try your incompetent best, you're still incompetent. A divisional commander, for me, there should have been a station sergeant work to make sure that bridge there. But you get a sub-division officer, you get a deputy commander, you get a commander there. And weeks and weeks and weeks pass, and they can't look after the bridge. They can't look after the bridge. Something is wrong some way. The priority, they're elsewhere. The extended squad rush into Barbies to present backpacks. Yeah, they involve in more political work than anything else. It's deplorable. It's deplorable. I pray to God that, nothing don't happen to anyone in the police or members of the public who would have to go and visit that location to make a report or to react to some complaint.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, this is disgraceful. I saw the picture too with the acting commissioner bowling at something. But let me say this. I have been associated with the police force for all them years. When the acting commissioner joined, I was already well established in the TSU, playing my little second hard court cricket And then later, I became a member of the police officers team. I captained that team as well. I never know the acting man that they extended squatter to be any cricketer. Never played any cricket that I know about. When I was in TSU, used to work there. Never. He played table tennis. I know. I think he kicked a little football, but nothing like cricket. You know nothing about cricket. If you ask him his fine leg or torn leg, you ask him fine leg, he might fight with some woman. You know them type of thing. You don't know cricketer. And the next thing that demoralizes, as we said before, I told you about them cleaning mess and all this everything. You have too many police officers now who believe they are politicians, including the extended squatter. Look this one. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. This is at Letem, right? Letem. They're sharing out backpack. PPP. The PPP sharing out backpack. And this is a police officer as part of the process. A police officer involved in a political activity sharing out backpack. And people want to know why people have lost respect for the force. And the man, the REO there, is a man who he shot a woman some couple years ago, right in the same area. One big story. He was arrested, and then quick time they give back, they release the man, give back the man he gone. Quick time. Carl Singh, the REO of Region 9, the term, shot a woman under suspicious circumstances. They went somewhere according to the report, and it's alleged that when they came out, they were in a vehicle, and some argument arose. He took out the gun, bow, the gun go off. Woman was shot in her abdomen, and well, he was never charged. He was sent on leave initially, and then he came back. And in this report that we are seeing here now, the man, this is a regional executive officer. According to the report that I read this morning, the man, let me find the thing. Let me find it. It says here, police help distribute ruling party gifts in Region 9. This is by Dennis Chabral. And he's saying, and this is the 26th, at least one Ghana police force officer was seen assisting in the distribution of the People's Progressive Party branded backpacks at a party event in Letem Region 9, Takatu Executible. The PPP Region 9 Facebook page states that the activity was done by members of the PPP Youth Arm, the Progressive Youth Organization, PYU, in collaboration with the police in Region 9. Members of the Progressive Youth Organization, Region 9, Comrade Benrick Francis and Marlon Edwards, in collaboration with the Police Regional Division Number 9, this afternoon distributed backpacks to students in Tapachinga, Letem. The PPP Region 9 Facebook page states, the party Region 9 branch also states that the backpack were distributed by the PYA youths of Region 9 with the compliments of the Regional Executive Officer, Carl Singh. When contacted, Mr. Singh confirmed that the backpack distribution was done by the PPP Youth Arm, compliments of him. And then he said, I'm a party man, he said. He said the Ghana Police Force also had a different distributing exercise for smaller children, right? And I told that police were part of the PPP exercise. Mr. Singh said he got to check and see, right? That is what is being reported. And they can't see how these things are operating to bring the force into more disrepute and people to use disrespect to the thing. They can't see that. You get police officer, this is a party, it's a PPP exercise. The most the people, police should be involved in there is to make sure that law and order is maintained. They need to make sure law and order. You got to make sure that there's order. Some constable will go there until to make sure that everything is there. We get an officer, Keiki Clothes, man. Keiki Clothes. This is the picture that I grabbed from the thing. Keiki Clothes, man. This is how they're utilizing the time to be able to be there at the PPP exercise and say sharing backpack. And one wonders why the police force is disrespected and they are in so much shambles and chaos. These are some of the things. These are some of the things that is causing that to happen. Let me bring in Mr. Conway and then we're going to move on. See, police officer, at least inspector, may I show his around. But Keiki Close, man, they're sharing at a PPP exercise. sharing backpack. What are your views?
The cameras don't lie. The cameras don't blink. Shocking but true. They had not to be involved in this thing. Eh? You said a constable or a corporal or somebody to make sure that breach of the peace or the case may be on that security is there. But I know police involved and physically handing backpack to people. No, 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 no. Well, they see the squatter do it in Region 6. So they follow suit, Monkey see, monkey do, it's a bad image and it looks too political. I mean, you could do something, but not as this widespread thing that they're doing there. Police in collaboration with the region handing out backpack and it's a PPP thing. It's a PPP thing. It's not say well it's a government thing. It's a PPP exercise. The Progressive Youth Organization, and there is it. Police in KK handing out backpack, man. No, 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 no.
And nobody's gonna see anything wrong with it. And they don't say, oh, there's nothing. I'm finally gonna say there's nothing wrong. All right, tomorrow at that views out, if Tantimore were to be asked about it, they'll say nothing wrong. Remember, they had said when May Thomas, the permanent secretary, had been sent to, this is what the vice president, Jack Joe, said. She had been sent to China when she was intercepted and the US in transit to China, had her phone seized and all of that. She was going to do PPP party work. This is a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs. And Jack Doe said nothing is wrong with that. People have different lives. That's what he said. People have different lives. So, you have the REO for Region 9, Carl Singh, a man who was accused of shooting a young lady in the same area there. He's telling you he's a party man. That is what is reported there as saying. He's a party man. This thing is sad, and it is going to cause the demoralization of the force. It's going to cause people to disrespect the force, because the force has clearly now become a political tool and a political organization. Not only that they're using it to go after people who are critical of the government, not only that, but you can see now these overt things, overt photograph, sharing backpack, other PPP activity. That is what is going on. And when you ask about the core functions, the prevention and detection of crime, nobody says anything about that. Nobody is saying anything about that. When you ask about the core function to try to prevent deaths and the carnage on the road, then don't say anything about that. It was a few days ago, the article was published, and I'm going to read it, news source, Darden Mosley, speaking about accidents. He says here, and it says over 200 accidents involving big trucks recorded since the start of 2024. This is an article on the 26th, 2 days ago. And it says the Guyana Police Force reported today that since the start of this year, there have been over 205 road accidents involving trucks, representing a more than 30% increase over last year's figure. The information from the police came in response to a query from News Source. Of the 205 accidents involving trucks, 18 of them resulted in the loss of lives. In 2003, a total of 158 road accidents involving trucks were recorded on the country's road. With the country experiencing construction and building boom, there have been a massive increase in the importation of heavy-duty trucks as construction companies go after major government and private sector contracts. Just recently, Minister of Home Affairs revealed that the number of registered trucks in the country roadway has more than doubled within the past 3 years. At the time, he also noted that 75% of road accidents in Guyana are caused by speeding. He promised stiffer penalties to tackle the lawlessness on the country's road. The situation with heavy-duty trucks speeding along the roadway daily has triggered widespread concern across the country. Almost daily, there are accidents involving these large trucks. There have been calls for the drivers to undergo specialized training and for the trucks to be restricted to road use at a specific speed and at various times of the day. While some truck drivers have been brought in from overseas to meet the demand, the majority of drivers appear to be Guyanese. who may have very little professional training in the operation of the larger truck. That's what they're saying. And look, this morning, let me show you all this morning at Baggersville on the eastbound. 2 trucks. Look at it there. 2 trucks. I don't get the details, but this is this morning. Not so long ago, look, on the East Coast, just by the arch, you know the arch there, on the East Coast there. We all know it if you travel there. I live on the East Coast, I travel there frequently. That is what you have going on. These trucks have become a menace. And let me show you a few other stuff. Look, we're talking about, hold on, this is what I call, look.
Right here. All right, you can look here. This guy here just went to visit the burial ground here.
Wait!
Can't park here.
I can't do that, man. I'm drunk on it. Fucking drunk man, I drive by.
I pay the e-bike.
There's a video that says drunk man driving to the into a cemetery there. The drunk man. Then you have the That's West Demerara recently. And I showed you all this one on Monday. That's what you get going on the roads. That is what we have going on the roads, and they're not addressing it. And we have said, and let me repeat again, right? This piecemeal thing here, the minister talking about increasing fine and all of that. Well, he said they got to increase the fine. Just recently, Minister of Home Affairs Ropesman revealed that the number of registered trucks in the country roadway has more than doubled in the past 3 years. And that he said he promised stiffer penalties to tackle the lawlessness on the country's road. Stiffer penalties. These are people who are in these positions: the minister, the traffic chief, the extended squatter. They don't have a clue. We have said before, this thing has reached epidemic proportions. The lawlessness in the roads, on the roads in Guyana, is a cultural problem. It's a culture of lawlessness in the road. You cannot change a culture by tinkering. Not so long ago, they met causing death if you under the influence, motor manslaughter. Think that they charged one person in about a year, right? They talk about the increased fine of drunken driving. Minimum fine, $200,000. And we have seen, at least on 2 occasions I have seen, magistrate implementing or imposing fine that is lesser. So I don't know how that works, because they said the minimum fine if you're found to be driving under the influence of alcohol is $200,000 Guyana. And I have seen where magistrates have been imposing a less fine. So I don't know how that works. Things like, so they talk about suspension of driver's license. How many licenses have been suspended? How many? And I say it again, when you come to trucks, we mentioned it on Monday. In the US and elsewhere, you have to have a commercial driver's license, a CDL, to drive big buses and trucks and so on. Guyana, no. A man goes into the do a test with a Canter, which is a relatively small vehicle, and they put truck on his license, and therefore he is authorized to drive them big 16-wheeler and them big massive trucks that are fetching sand on the road. All of these things have to be looked at. You know, the sad thing, if you recall, on the 1st of this year, what we call New Year's Day, the president in his New Year's message, let me quote you, because I can't say you're misquoting and you're telling lies, because I know they're quick to tell you about cyber crimes and all this stuff. The president said, I quote, "The carnage on our roads will be greeted with a robust road safety and traffic management plan. I intend to have a national conversation on this issue within the coming days. Out of that conversation, new laws, regulations, and technology will be implemented to stop the carnage on our roads. End of quote. That was 4th of January 2024. Today is the 28th of August 2024. What has happened to that plan? President said that within the coming days, yes, weeks or months, he said within the coming days, he intend to have a conversation on the issue within the coming days. And until now, you can't hear anything. At least nothing is being done. Nothing proper is being done to address this lawlessness on the road. Nothing. Nothing. And again, let me tell you, forget about the messenger, listen to the message. It requires that this road carnage be declared as a national public health emergency. And only declared, you got to put certain measures in place. I said that they need to establish under the Ministry of Agile Ministry, Public Works, a Department of Transportation to look at all aspects of vehicles on the road. To talk about how you get a driver's license, you get a department to do that. The certification of motor vehicles on the road, you got to look at that. You have to look at the engineering aspect. You have to look at the educational aspect. You know, the funny thing, you have a Ministry of Education. And whenever you hear about traffic education in the schools, you see a couple of policemen, 2 constables or something, talking to drivers. I have not seen a program from the Ministry of Education to target road users, the older ones, as well as the teenagers and school children, to start from there. I have not seen that. I said they should use the money to make sure you have public information, commercials and so on the airwaves, billboards. The one billboard we see relating to traffic, respect the road, is a billboard with the extended squatter photograph on it. That is what we saw. Nothing to tell people how to use the road and all of this stuff. This is supposed to litter all the roads. You're supposed to have signs. Keep left. I have traveled around the place. You go to some place, they tell you, keep to the left. Only when you overtake it, it's supposed to be on the right. You go to Jamaica, you see the number of deaths there. People know how many persons have died. This is a big secret thing, guys. I don't want to tell you how many people die on the road. And when they come, then they tell you about fatal accidents and fatal incidents and all sort of things. This requires, yes, Mr. President, it requires a national conversation indeed, right? But it needs to about it like yesterday, to get ideas and to make sure that this thing can work. Something needs to be done. Too many accidents. A small country with less than 1 million people, look how many road deaths you have. And apart from the deaths, when you look at the accidents, the cost of accidents. I had done a survey, a paper some years ago, to say what is the cost in dollars for every fatal accident, every what we call serious accident, even minor accident. And the cost is staggering. It's a staggering cost. But these bright people there, and they are not doing anything. They go out and they tell you they issue so many tickets. And the ticket system don't work. But they're not concerned with that. All they want is the propaganda will say, well, we issue 5,000 tickets and 2,000 tickets. But they didn't see that the traffic ticket system has broken down. So if a person pays, a lot of people are law-abiding, they get a ticket, they can pay. But a person decides that he can't pay, there's nothing to make sure that that person is brought to the books. Nothing. I even believe I think call the traffic chief and ask the traffic chief about the traffic ticket system. And if they say of the tickets that were issued, so many were paid, that's because people go and people paid. Ask them how many have been unpaid. Ask them how many traffic ticket matters have gone before the magistrate to have a trial, either with the defendant present or an ex-party trial. Ask them. Ask them those questions. And if they answer, they're going to come with a lot of lies and so on. Let me bring Mr. Conway, and then we're going to come back. This is a pressing issue. We have to keep highlighting it because people are dying on the road. See, this traffic situation, man, these trucks in particular, no, but not only trucks, all categories. We have said repeatedly, trucks, minibus, private cars, pedestrians, cyclists, all categories are involved. Your take on this, my friend?
We said over and over again that there gotta be an holistic approach towards this traffic situation. What they're doing, they're picking the fruits They're looking at the fruits, but they're not looking at the main root of the problem. When you pick the fruits, other fruits will come up. But if you chop the main root, the tree will die. Cut the main root and the tree will die. There's no one-shot solution. There's no silver bullet in dealing with the traffic situation. There's a multiplicity of activities that got to take place, police-wise and government-wise and otherwise. Now, the truck situation, I mentioned in the last program, you go to Canto, certify an officer, he certify you could drive it, give you competence, you carry competence to the GRA, and you get license to drive trucks, to drive lorries, those big vehicles. Something is wrong there. Something is wrong there. And look, over 200 accidents, sir. 2 this morning. And maybe they must get 4 others since those two things. That it got to be holistic. And all has got to be involved. Not only the traffic ranks, as in the general duty ranks, all members of the force got to be involved. They're left it to the traffic ranks, and I'm saying the commanders too at fault. As a commander, you gotta put down your foot in it. You respond for crime, traffic, and everything. Not like how Branham saying that the CID men in the division don't have to report to the commando, and the guy report to he. No. When you are the commander, you see the traffic, commanders has got to be involved, totally involved. I like to share my experience. I remember when I took over command from Borbies, I realized people who West Coast Borbies, well, I'm from West Coast Borbies. I said West Coast Borbies are the brightest people in terms of the learner driver package. When you look at the results, 96%, 90-something percent people passing. And I said something is wrong there. And I took a hold of it, put some systems in place. And after a while, the average gone to 60-something percent pass. And what I do now, you still got to look at the joy package. That they get Zaro, and like Zaro, like they're paragons of virtue. Nobody putting no checks and balances on the situation. Nobody checking Zaro what Zaro tell them is gospel. Nobody, no checks and balance, no anti-corruption drive going on in Zaro. No integrity testing going on in Zaro. Zaro on their own, and things happening with driver license. People who can't read and write passing passing the examination. And when you pass the examination, you go and you do the practical exercise, and you get your driver license. The corruption is there, and they got to look how persons get their driver's license. How they get their driver's license. Drivers we dealing with, and we talking about the big truck and the traffic situation. It's got to be data driven. They got to create a database. They got to create a platform where all information comes to that one central body, and you use policy analysts, not them like what they get at the strategic management unit, to analyze the thing and look at trends, look at pattern, look at hot spots, look at category of persons who are involved in accidents. And based on that analysis, you use your human and other resources to deal with the situation. It's got to be data driven. And we can't forget the jaguar in the room, the corruption. And the corruption not only in driver's license, but not in other areas. They're clamping people's vehicle, which as far as concerned is illegal. And what's happening? I heard a couple of cases. You get clamped down there. When you turn up, you see your vehicle get clamped. You don't see where the police there. You go to the station and you find some police when he come and he unclamp. He take off the clamp there. And you pay your $5,000 and you go on your way. There's no proper record. You don't get no receipt, no nothing. So the clamping is a money-making business. The corruption there on there too. I clamp the vehicle, I got my way, you come and find me, I go on clamp, pay you $5,000, and I got my way. That is what the vehicles always be towed away, and you pay for the toll and everything, but them things ain't happening. So unless they have a holistic approach towards it, unless all are involved in this traffic situation, it will continue. It will continue, and then the person in the coming days, perhaps he's right. In the coming days, he's gonna deal with it. In the coming days, telling people that they line the road to deal with speeding, move about some sort of find out somebody place and there it is. No. It's the situation is so devastating on the road that you have to take the action, condign action, and that is now what we're taking. Look at the trucks. I agree we have development in the country, big infrastructure work. You gotta get trucks. But then you gotta look at the drivers that you got, and even some of them trucks, you see them fetching load and they get on trade plates. They're fetching load and they get on trade plates. Traffic man say can't do nothing. Why there's a minister thing, there's a minister and them kind of thing. So unless they have I'm repeating myself, a holistic approach towards this traffic situation, the carnage will continue. It will continue.
And well, it will continue because nobody is addressing it properly. I know I got big up myself again. I was traffic chief on 2 occasions, despite what the amphibians and all these people can say. People on this program, policemen and others know when I was traffic chief. But I used to be on the road myself. I used to be out there and brought order to the system. I brought relative order to the system. Policemen will tell you, drivers, bossmen will tell you. When I was Commander West Demerara, with their quarters at Leonora, that was my first command in 1993. When I was driving my car, my first car then to go to work, and I drove at the posted speed, anybody who dared to drive past would have been speeding, and they were dealt with. We had a mechanism to deal with them, so much so it got to the point where the word spread, and once my car is there, nobody is speeding past me. When I was Commander Region Bobby's B Division at the time, with headquarters in New Amsterdam, I got to come to meetings and so on in the morning. When I cross, because as the commander, you get privilege to go up on the gangway, so my vehicle will come off first. When my vehicle comes off, and I drive in, because most of the time I drove myself to come down, people, there's a whole line of vehicles behind me because they get the word. I am driving within the speed limit, and if you dare to say you're speeding past, I get the police and deal with you. The respect was there, but now there's no respect because everybody wanted something. Everybody got a friend or something like that. Nobody, let me say this. Listen, talk to the policemen who work with me. They will tell you. Nobody who get pulled in from the police for violating the law can dare say they're coming to the commander and commander and intervene. No. The policemen have to do their work. On occasions, the policemen might err. And if you recognize that they err, you have to use it as a teaching example. I will call them and I will tell them where they err and what they should do correctly. Not to embarrass them. People calling policemen and tell them, hey, when you see this bus on the road, don't trouble it and all this. Yeah, that is what the allegation is in many cases. Others say, and people who wants to be honest will tell you that when Paul Slow was the traffic chief around the area there, Bus Park and all this everything, order. A few months ago, I passed by Stabrook Market. And a man called me, Master, you recognize that skip how you do? I said, there, and so he laughed. He said, look what's going on, He said, new days, this could have never happened. And I smiled and I went away. But you have people now, because they are officers, they sit in office all the time. They don't go out on the road. They don't know what is going on the road. They don't know what is going on the road. I used to go out there and direct traffic. Somebody said, over used to control traffic. I used to go out there myself. You're driving, you see a busy intersection, you stop, you deal with it. My driver, and every morning, Patrick Miller, used to be there. We gone out around the place, put some order in the system, go back into office 9, 10 o'clock, and do the office work. But now everybody sit down in office. They sit in their offices. And when you talk about the plans and so on, I like Robeson put them to stand up on a ladder. Tell them that they must stand up on a ladder outside the Marshall Code at the corner of this Big Dam and Avenue Republic. That is the type of intervention, some nonsensical things. They extended squad call the people, transfer all the traffic heads, and told them in order to control speeding, policemen must line all the roads. That is the respect the road campaign he talk about. Line all the roads. What has happened to that? This is about a year now, I think. It can't go anywhere because it did not make sense. There is no proper strategizing, there's no proper planning, and therefore that is why you have all this nonsense going on. Donna. Robeson put them aside. I don't have the picture to show. Robeson tell them they got some short ladder. They have to stand up at the middle of the road for direct the traffic. Robeson tell them, I understand, is reported. Robeson tell them in order for the traffic ranks to be more visible, all the traffic ranks must wear white gloves. So if you drive around now, East Coast and many other places, see traffic police in white gloves because they say that's going to make them more visible and more effective. You ever hear nonsense, sir? You ever hear nonsense like this? You ever hear nonsense like that? And that is a problem. You have people whose brain dead. Couple cells are more cells than are dead than those that are alive. They can't think properly. They cannot think properly. Now let me move on. We spent some time in traffic because traffic is a serious thing. It's a serious thing. Yeah, if let's just saw the video, I showed it here before. Now, we reported some time ago that you had this issue where a man was arrested, right? A man was arrested at horse racing 2 Sundays ago, and he was deported to the U.S. I think they escorted him to the U.S. He's been at the horse racing place there, he escorted. Well, the update to that, I saw in the news in New York that he passed through court. He killed this man on Christmas Eve night in 2019 or something like that, speeding at 25 miles an hour roadway. He was going, they said, about 70 miles, knocked down the man and kept driving. Then he ran to Guyana and he was hiding out in Guyana. So they got information. I don't know how the Guyana police got the information, but they arrested him at the horse racing place. He was deported to the U.S. shortly after. He was deported. So they denied him bail. He was denied bail. And then they let Ola at one moment. Ola, man. Yeah, sorry about that. They just want to say take a break for perspiration's sake. And this is literally. Now, there's also a report which I want to read. They say, you remember, they say that the Guyanese auto serial dealer recently arrested by ranks at the Criminal Investigation Department and handed over to the FBI, eventually ported to the U.S. The man named Ravindra Dharamjit, he was being hiding out in Guyana, was arrested while at a horse racing event. And the news is that the man was prominent in Guyana, the man should drive a racing car and all them type of thing. Wanted in the States, driving a racing car and all of that. And then there's another thing here that I want to read to you. It says that, let me read this one first. A Guyanese auto said has found itself placed under the microscope of the United States law enforcement for the company's alleged role in public corruption, suspicious financial transactions, and for being heavily financed by an execrable businessman and gold dealer. That is what the thing is saying. The execrable businessman and gold dealer is also under investigation by the FBI and the Canadian authorities. They launder, and the quote today, they launder money derived from proceeds of illegal activity. There are several reported suspicious and frequent deposits by the auto dealer. which aided in the investigation, end of quote. That's what a high-level source in North America told Nightly News. The company is alleged to have multiple suspicious US dollars transactions with falsified invoices involving China. Quote, the company pays hefty bribes to public officials in Guyana for various benefits, end of quote. Investigators know for sure that the Essequibo businessman and gold dealer, who partly finances the auto sales, is himself unscrupulous. Developing story, they say. One who is this Essequibo businessman and one who is this auto dealer. Because shortly after that, they said the auto dealer relative was arrested at the horse racing place in West Coast Bobbies and was extradited. But then they get the next one that make me laugh. You know, these things, I got to read them, you know. I got to read it. It says here, this is SGP Nightly News, the United States of America has revoked the visas of the owner of a well-known Guyanese branding company and the owner's entire family. It is understood that the family has been accused of being deeply involved in public corruption, suspected money laundering, bribery of public officials, and drug smuggling. U.S. authorities are aware of allegations linking the company to hefty bribes to officials and those associated with the National Procurement and Federal Administration. Sanctions against the company are imminent because of the hefty bribes, and this is a quotation, sanctions against the company are imminent because of the hefty bribes and so on that companies pay. Similar honest businessmen are being excluded from government contracts, are usually reliable source related. The business is said to have bank accounts overseas with significantly large amount of cash with suspicious transactions from Colombia. That is what was said. And you would note in this release by HGP News, they said business, they said the business owner, a well-known Guyanese branding company, they said, and the owner's entire family, they had their visa revoked. That is what it said. No business is named, the person, no name is mentioned in this thing. Lo and behold, shortly thereafter, I see a statement from a company called Impressions. It says, statement by Impressions regarding Facebook posts made by Melissa Ann Atwell Melimel, purporting to connect CEO to news article posted by Travis Chase. And here what the thing says, Impression notes with grave concern a Facebook post made under the name Melissa Ann Atwell Melimel on August the 23rd, 2024, attempted to associate the business CEO and his family with an article posted by Travis Chase on Facebook. The purported connection is completely false, misleading, and could only have been contrived to harm the reputation of the business CEO and his family. Impressions would like to assure the public that its clients that the claim made in the post are completely untrue, fallacious, and devoid of merit. Impressions is committed to delivering service to our client with utmost efficiency and effectiveness while maintaining a high standard of accountability, transparency, integrity, and professionalism. With a long history of 32 years in business and a staff complement of over 100 employees, Impression has dedicated its investment and business strategies to creating a platform for companies, small business, NGOs to reinvent and build their brand with confidence. And listen to this part. Impressions has instructed its lawyers to review these posts with a view of taking the legal action necessary to protect Impression, its CEO, and its family from any further malicious, erroneous publication in the future. That is what this is. So the man who made the post, HGP News, never mentioned any name. It would appear as though Mel may have associated this company with this post. And the people going batshit crazy, they're going to talk to the lawyers and all this everything. I know they have not addressed, again, I tell you, there's no statement analysis, you know. They have not addressed the allegation that the businessman and his entire family had their visas to the United States revoked. They're not addressed that. That has not been addressed. So I say to them, if this thing is fallacious, as they say, you have not addressed the visa issue, to prove to them, this Melly Mel, this Travis Chase and all them rule, just go book a flight and fly to New York or fly to Miami or somewhere in the States to show them that your visa or the visas for you and your family have not been revoked. That is what you have to do. Don't worry with all of this thing with the talking. Yeah, the talking balderdash, the talking buncombe. You should now just go book a flight. You seem to have the necessary resources. Book the flight and let them know, post selfie, look, at that point of flight are going to the US. When you touch them at JFK or Miami or wherever, show them that you are being escorted. They accord you the usual protocols and you're being escorted and you're not being interrogated. Show them that, man. In addition to this release, nice release, you disassociated yourself from this allegation of bribery, corruption, and all that other thing. Jump on a plane, travel to the US, and let all them eat crow. Let Travis Chase and Melly Mel all them eat crow to say the lie that your visas have never been revoked. That is what you have to do. That is my stupid advice to you. Yeah, good, you make the release, is good. But follow it up by going to the States. And the only way you can go to the States is if you have a visa. So you will show to them. Because other than having a visa, when you go to the States, you're going to be issued with that fancy suit. The color, I think, is normally orange. So let me see how it goes, man. Let me see. Somebody said, I'm a big setup. Me ain't setting up nobody. I am saying that if the people say your visa revoked, you issue a statement, you never deny that part. You're denying the visa part. You're saying, well, you deny being involved in corruption, like anybody would do. You're involved in corruption and all of that, but you're not sent on with the visa. So to prove to them that they are wrong, they are fallacious, they are malicious, they are devious, right? Go up on a plane, get your selfie, show them you're at Kennedy or Miami or somewhere there, and prove all of them as liars. Destroy their credibility. That is my advice to you. Destroy their credibility by traveling to the States and showing them that what I say about your visa being revoked is lie. That is what you have to do. Bring Mr. Connery to hear about this visa thing. See, this visa story, and you know it's not the first time, because even the Calvin Brutus, attorney at law, assistant commissioner, an article, Travis wrote an article, and he mentioned a senior police officer. He never mentioned any name, but then Brutus got some liar to write to Chase and to threaten legal action and all that thing. You are how this thing does work, man. What are your views here, my brother?
Well, I read the article by Travis Chase, and I also read the response by the company that Travis didn't mention. I think here, like Melly Mel had mentioned the name of the company, Impression. But their response, is confusing. They're saying that the statement is completely false and misleading. All they had to put is a one-line statement. My visa, nor that of my family, were not released, were not revoked. All I said, there's a bone of contention. They revoke me and my family visa, full stop. And stop all of that. Stop all of that. Maybe they might want to buy a ticket and go to New York or go to Miami. But just put in a statement said that the visas were not revoked, full stop.
Come on, they get good advice. They get good free advice from two geriatric former assistant commissioners of police with lots and lots of experience. Between the two of us, we have over 70-something years experience, and we're advising you. What you have to do is to say that is lie. The visa were never revoked. And to prove to them that the visas weren't revoked, jump and go to the States, man. Take out that selfie on TikTok and Facebook and X And I said, show them where you touch down, go up on Empire State Building, go by the Statue of Liberty and pose. Yay! That is what you have to do. Don't come and write and write and write. But then we move on. And we're moving on here now to this matter involving Assistant Commissioner and Attorney at Law Calvin Brutus. Today is 49 days, according to my count, since he said that he was, since I said he's going on leave to facilitate this investigation. 49 days. And we cannot hear, at least I have not heard, whether he has been questioned in relation to the allegation of money laundering and financial impropriety. Nothing yet, merely question. We heard that he was to resume some time ago and they told him stay out. Don't come out yet. Right? We hear, and I've said, we don't know what the Police Service Commission is doing. We give them free advice as to how the matter should be proceeded with. Because, you know, I was the chairman of the immediate past chairman of the Police Service Commission, and Mr. Conway was a member of that commission. So we give them some advice. But today paper, I see Ben, first of all, Ben says awaiting updates on Brutus. That's what the headline says. Today's tablet news. Ben, they're talking about Robson, the Minister of Home Affairs. He says he's awaiting update on Brutus. Let us have Ben says, I was shocked because I know that Ben could talk. I don't know. But here what it says, let me read the article. Minister of Home Affairs Robson on Monday told Stabrook News that he's awaiting an update from the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, on the probe that was launched following an allegation of financial impropriety made against this, and this is what Stabrook, Deputy Commissioner Acting of Police, Calvin Brutus. Ben added that the police investigation is still ongoing and he would not be able to say when it will be completed. On July 12, Ben announced that allegations of financial impropriety made against Brutus were being investigated by SOCU. And quote, Mr. Brutus has proceeded on leave to facilitate a full and complete investigation by SOCU. There will be no action in relation to any promotion of Mr. Brutus under these circumstances. Any promotion will be subject to the outcome of the investigation. SOCU has already commenced its investigation, and the government will be guided by the outcome of such investigation. End of quote. Ben has said. Reports had swirled around Brutus and others in the police force, but Eve Leary has shrugged them off. Not only shrug off, the commissioner acting, extend this quarter, say no investigation is going on and no money was lost. But let me analyze this statement. Tell you there's no statement analysis. Ben says that upon he's awaiting an update from SOCU on the probe. Imagine that. When we tell you all about political interference and involvement, the minister should have nothing to do with this. What update he's awaiting on? A report is made about our criminal allegation that says SOCU is investigating, and we have said repeatedly, others have said likewise, that SOCU is incapable of committing an independent and professional investigation in this matter. But here Ben saying, Ben today is quoted in Stabrook saying he is awaiting an update from the Special Organized Crime Unit on the probe that was launched following the allegation. The minister should have absolutely nothing to do with this. A criminal investigation. When the investigation is completed, a file should be sent to the Director of Public Prosecution, a criminal matter, and then they should be advised how to proceed. But Ben is telling us here, you know, and that is how we got to analyze this thing, you know. They're telling you about the involvement of the politics or the politicians in these matters. A criminal investigation, and Ben is proud, he's bold enough to tell Stabrook News that he is awaiting an update from the Special Organized Crime Unit on the probe that was launched following an allegation of financial impropriety. And, you know, you got a lot of politicians and all these civic organizations. They're allowing these people, they're getting free pass. It's we on speaking out. My colleague and I, we have to point out these things. We have to point out these things. And then he went on to say, well, Ben added that the police investigation is still ongoing. I will not be able to say when it will be completed, right? Then he goes on to say, the quotations, the 12, Mr. Brutus is proceeding on leave to facilitate a full and complete investigation by Suku. There will be no action in relation to any promotion of Mr. Brutus under these circumstances. Any promotion will be subject to the outcome of the investigation. Suku has already commenced the investigation. The government will be guided by the outcome of such investigation. Now, the government should have nothing to do with promotion. You see what tell you all about these things? You see what tell you all? There's talk and there's reveal what is going on. There's talk and there's reveal. Brutus is an assistant commissioner. The next logical rank up is deputy commissioner. Article 211 of the Constitution tells us of the process to promote commissioner and deputy commissioner. It says that the promotion is made by the president after meaningful consultation with the Police Service Commission, with the chairman of the Police Service Commission, who would have first communicated and consulted with other members of the commission. That is what the Constitution says. The supreme organ of the land, the Constitution says so. But Ben can tell you, Ben is telling us here, there will be no action in relation to promotion of Brutus. That's what Robeson Ben is saying. And I tell you all the political involvement and the political interference. And here we said again, today is 49 days by my reckoning since Brutus, account to Ben, was July the 12th. As proceeding, they say he asked to go on leave. Now we know that's not true. He was sent on leave. And we have been asking him repeatedly, how many days leave is this man sent on? And I made the point because I know from my investigation that he and others were paid in lieu of leave, meaning that the leave that they had accumulated, they were paid for that. So they can get the leave. Any leave that Brutus got has to be a limited number. I know at his rank, he would have been entitled to 42 days a year. So for this year, he might have been entitled to 42 for last year and the prorated amount for this year. So we want to know how many days leave, because my information is that he actually turned out. I was told to go back and leave. And I said that the Police Service Commission should get involved in this matter. Jaigobi and Jai Singh, who lied in an affidavit, can check the records. I gave them the reference. Moti Duki versus David Ramnarayan, who was carrying out the functions of Commissioner of Police. When Moti Duki was found to be conveying, I think, a large set of Johnny Walker black whiskey, is when 2019 or something like that, right? Around Christmas time, I think it was the 30th of December. He tell him it's one Bartley carrying it for the police officers' mess ball, turned out to be untrue. He was then being investigated, and at the time there was no Police Service Commission, and well, it couldn't be 2019, 2017 I think it was, because the commission I changed started in 2018, so it had to be 2017 or somewhere around then. And then David Ramnarayan was carrying out the functions of commissioner, sought to send Duki on administrative leave. Duki challenged that in the High Court, and his lawyer was Anil Nandalal, who is now FC MP. So he's aware of the details. And the judge ruled, Justice Corbyn ruled, that Ramnarayan has no authority or had no authority to send Duki, who was then a deputy superintendent of police, on administrative leave. She said that that is a function, constitutional function of the Police Service Commission. So there is no Police Service Commission led by a bishop. I just call the name wrong, if Farley or I can't remember, it's something like that. And I've always said I don't know if it is a religious bishop or if it's a chessboard bishop. Because the fact that he lied on July 1, 2022 to say that there was no promotion in the year, and then the next day, 200 and something promotions were made at that senior level, I suspect then that he can't be a religious bishop. Can't be some chessboard man. I don't think that a religious bishop would have lied. And if he gets set up, as I think he did, he should have come out and tell people that he was misled. They told him no, and then they sent the list to you, the rubber stamp the list. They rubber stamp the list. So I'm saying to members of the Police Service Commission, I think they have a lawyer there too, with the name of my co-host, the man there, Conway down there. Check the records and see what action is to be taken and send Brutus on administrative leave. I asked a question too, What happened to the Bar Association? This is a man, or this is a person who has been admitted to the bar in Ghana to practice law. Some people say, I know Englishman, but some people say admitted to the bar. Some people say admitted for the bar. I'm not too clear about the distinction. But what I know is that they say he can practice law in Ghana. So I've asked the question, this is a man who gets serious allegation and is being investigated. What action should the Bar Association take? Should this man be allowed to remain in active practice or on the roll? Isn't there a procedure for suspension pending? I don't know. I'm asking the question. So therefore, if not, it means that tomorrow, Calvin Brutus, Assistant Commissioner, Attorney at Law, who is being investigated for money laundering and financial impropriety, could turn up in the court saying representing client. That is what we have. This republic that is not such a republic, right? This is what we have. So I am saying that something needs to be done. One, the police need to tell us, or should tell us, the public propaganda unit, how many days leave this officer is on. The public should know. So it's not something confidential. How many days leave he has proceeded on. When is he likely to resume? So we might very well have a case where he got resumed and the investigation is still going on. This is a serious thing. The Police Service Commission, who apparently only believe that they're there to rubber stamp promotion, should get involved, and your constitutional body. I know when I was there was a legal officer there. Take advice from the legal officer and give Brutus a letter. And I like run to court. So give him a letter that he's proceeding on administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. Don't tell me about what they call the rule of law and the presumption of innocence, because that is selectively applied in Guyana. Ikin did not know about the rule of law and presumption of innocence when on the 5th of July 2022, I think it was, he sent home, he dismissed Sergeant Dave McLennan and others who were some way involved in this Quindon Bacchus case. There are 3 young policemen in Borbies who he dismissed without getting a chance to be heard and without any presumption of innocence. An officer last fired and he dismissed the 3 constables. So don't come and tell me about it. Yes, there's a presumption, but it must apply uniformly across the board. So I wait. And here, let me tell you, Alice, by now you have to recognize that we are going to stop talking about it. And it is good to see, at least in this occasion, Stabrook News asks Ben about the matter. But one would expect tomorrow, when he need a Shimakume come there, similar question should be asked. You know, for those students who understand, you know, it was a big bacchanal just the other day with the need and Shimakume. Big comments the other day with the need and Shimakume. I don't want to waste so a passing straight. A fella pull me and tell me, wait, same time he and husband come off the bus, is now the Makume start to cuss. In it is better you leave and go. Don't let me talk everything I know. Because you and Darius couldn't agree. You tie the child in the girl belly. In it she Makume. Do so tomorrow. That's what we're going to have. That is what we're going to have. Those questions should be asked. What is the position with Calvin Brutus? I understand before I bring him is a scandal. Calvin the batting sweet man. So forgive me. Let me wipe my face, man. The batting sweet. And I understand that they got a case now where people are denying that this receipt with this $16.5 million that was deposited in the credit union account, claiming $15 million for saving and $1.5 million for an interest that was interest on a loan that was never applied for or never given. I hear saying that the receipt and all of those things are bogus. It is not so. So the document will say that the source of fund is we are in gifts prior to, during, and after we had the reception. They say all of them things are true. So therefore, I guess they're going to tell us too that the fact that banks have frozen their accounts, that ain't true. The fact that this man set up a company And you get all the documents there. In June, his wife set up a company in June. That ain't true. The fact that these companies have been supplying hundreds of millions of dollars in items to the police messes, that too ain't true. The fact that it is alleged that when they went into the office, they found over 100 million Guyana dollars, that is not true. The fact that the ranks at the police credit union who stopped this process from going through were removed, that ain't true. The fact that the extended quarter call, berated, and transferred them, that ain't true. That's what I'm going to tell you. All them things ain't true. So if they're true, why did you go and leave? If these things are not true, why did you go and leave? So let me bring in Mr. Canmore. I can't argue all the batting. The batting sweet. It's soft bowling like what South Africa bowl. So what Sisi got your batting to. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I don't know how Ben gets involved in this thing, and then he talking about promotion. How he get involved in talking about promotion for that assistant commissioner, Brutus? You mentioned it, Paul. Promotion is the president, and not just the president. After meaningful consultation with the leader of the opposition and chairman of the Police Service Commission, who would have consulted with other members. And there's the Police Service Commission is dormant. All these allegations circling about the place there. And they can't call upon the police, say, let me get a report on it. Yeah? When we saw things in the media when we were members of the Police Service Commission, we used to write the police, say, let me get a report, send an extract of what you saw in the media. And then why Ben didn't do like what he did on a Christmas Eve day? Remember Paulie wrote Happy, who was performing the duties of the commissioner, and said proceed with criminal charges, not the investigation, proceed with criminal charges against, and he listed the officers, and not a statement, not a file or anything there, but they must proceed. And so far, not one of the officers received any charge based on what Ben had directed. So why you in the criminal with Brutus too? Why you write the 10 squad and say proceed with criminal charge against Brutus? But he come in and talk about promotion. Completely out of order. Completely out of order. I remember Happy get a Christmas Eve day give proceed with criminal charges against the officers and listed them, include the officers who would say assaulted diplomats, and up now them officers still punishing, they ain't promoting them. All but one get promoted, all the rest are no criminal charge against them. I know we asked him, but he batting for Brutus. So Brutus get promoted to deputy commissioner. God, man, help us.
Yeah, it looked like we really need divine intervention. We need divine intervention, it would appear. Now, you said, Charles, he did, I remember, people complimenting me on my memory. It's on the 24th of December 2020, that communication between Ben and Nigel Happy. 24th of December 2020. That was the date when he said that these people should be charged. But now Brutus must be charged. Because Brutus, it is alleged that Brutus said he ain't going down alone. He gets story for all of them. And if he got to go, the whole house coming down with it. And when we talk about the whole house, he says not only the police house, but people in government and senior positions, they are coming with him. And I believe it to some extent because I don't think that Brutus could have been involved in this massive scheme, this massive corruption scheme without others being involved, like the police finance officer, like the people at Ministry of Home Affairs, because remember they are the accounting officers. Accounting officer, the PS Ministry of Home Affairs is the accounting officer, at least for capital. So Brutus is saying that when he going, he knows story for them at Soku, he knows story for all them and all of you going down. So maybe that's why they're treading very carefully because he called government people, I understand, government people too, senior people in the government, Brutus know the story. Can't remember he spent a few days, if not longer than that, as the head of special branch. And special branch is supposed to be the place where you get all of your secret. And if he'd been there, who knows? Who knows what would have happened? Who knows what he would have been able to see? Who knows? Who knows? And then, as I said, then talk about criminal charge. But the authority for criminal charge in Guyana is the DPP. Is the Director of Public Prosecutions, Shalimar Ali Act, SC. Right? But remember what Bernard DeSantis said about this same Director of Public Prosecutions. I got to keep reminding you. Bernard DeSantis says, one of the matters which has been suspected by members in the criminal bar for some time is that the acting Director of Public Prosecutions, whose husband is a Muslim cleric, cannot divorce our religion from our professional duties. Bernard DeSantis says so. That's Law Conway. And it is in the book, Hijacking of the New Build Society, which I have encouraged you people to get and read. People have reached out to me for asking the reference and where they can get it and so on. I've provided them with information. I have provided them with information. So let us see where that will go. Let us see where it will go. And the song that I sang is the Mighty Jew, the Woman Bacchanal. Y'all go up on, this is one of my favorites. Go on YouTube, Mighty Jew, Woman Bacchanal. Big cuss out with the Nida Shimakumi. And then she husband tell you that you want to set me up against my wife. In front me face you lying and she, my wife and have nobody but me. I know that man you're speaking about. That is our cousin Rupert from South. When he come home with a sleeping tree, sometime I myself the steaky for me. Mighty Jew, y'all don't miss it. Don't miss it. Now a very disturbing matter came to my attention as I looked to close. A very disturbing matter. I was told by a very reliable source that he went to a certain business place in Regent Street and he saw a man who he knows to be a renowned criminal. A criminal. The man that working security with this businessman, he get 9mm pistol and all of that. The man said he knows him very well. And when he was shocked to see a known criminal is a security with this company, armed with a 9mm pistol. And they're jumping around the place. They want to know why you have all these crimes and all of these everything. Because there's no proper checking. It would appear, based on what was told, the businessman get license to own firearm. And he gives this firearm to a big-time criminal to be armed. The man tell me the name and everything. That is what we have going on. That is what. Let me bring in Mr. Camden for his closing, and then we're going to give you a look forward. CC, your closing remarks.
Okay, this one is very disturbing, where we showing total regards for symbols of nationhood. If you check today's paper, the Stabrook, the front page, there's a big photograph there and there's a heading. Pacoima Games. President Irfan Ali yesterday attended the North Pacoima District Games 2024 at the Kamana Community Center Ground, Region 8. The office of the president shows some of the teams at the ready. A photograph with some of the teams there. But when you look at the photograph, the flag of Guyana is flying there. And to the right of the flag of Guyana is the flag of the PPP. Now, the protocol is when the Guyana flag is flying next to another flag, the Guyana flag must be on the right. It must be on the right. And when it's flying among others, it's got to be a little above them in the center and a little above them. But here it is at these games at the Pacoima, Kamano, and I've been Kamano, one of the coolest places in Guyana I ever had gone to. And there is it, total disrespect for a flag, and which is one of the symbols of nationhood. And those who don't know the symbols of nationhood, let me tell them, the symbols of nationhood are the flag, the coat of arms, the national anthem, the pledge, and the Constitution. And Article 7 of the Constitution states, I'm going to read it. It is the duty of every citizen of Guyana, wherever he or she may be, and every person in Guyana, to respect the national flag, the coat of arms, the national anthem, the pledge and the Constitution of Guyana, and to treat them with due and proper solemnity at all occasions. And far too often we are finding that we are showing total disregard for symbols of nation, especially the flag. We get the flag flying and all kind of thing. We get the flag flies, the flag colors are upside down and all kind of thing. And it's time that we start to show respect for symbols of nation. Here's it: the president is there, and the flag flying, and then the PPP flag has taken priority, precedent over our national flag, over the golden arrowhead. The Guyana flag is on the left of the PPP, when the Guyana flag should be on the right of any other flag aligned flying next to a flag. The Guyana flag must be on its right. Total disrespect for one of our symbols of nationhood.
All right, thank you, my brother. Thank you. We gone over time and we close out by saying, again, I need to extend, the invitation is still there for all those who want to get little education and financial literacy. Just hook me up. It's free. It's free. Some free teaching. Just let me know, and I can always arrange for you to benefit from the exposure I have had in this respect. Now, in closing, let me tell you, Monday is holiday in the U.S. Labor Day. So I know there's a big Labor Day for Eastern Parkway, big jump up and so on. So we're not going to have any program on Monday. However, if anything dramatic comes up between now and then, stay tuned. As I've said, follow the page, subscribe to the page on YouTube. If everything comes up, we're going to come here and we're going to bring it to you. But as it is now, Monday being that significant holiday, Labor Day in Brooklyn, we are not scheduled to have any program on Monday. So, folks, I urge you to take care, stay well. You get dengue outbreak. Well, not outbreak, but dengue is prevalent. I understand yesterday from a very reliable source that you get monkeypox now in Guyana. Some people say a lot of monkeys there in government, so any pox they get is monkeypox. So, but I understand the disease, monkeypox. Somebody said so yesterday. You have got to take care of yourself because we understand that is very contagious. You have to take care of yourself. We know what's going on in the roads, every day accidents. We know that, drive-by shootings and all of that. So I urge you to take care, and God's willing, we will see you whenever we have a next program. But for now, stay well and enjoy your weekend. Those of you who are in Brooklyn and be in the Parkway, enjoy, be safe, and enjoy your Labor Day. This is a long weekend. Enjoy. Until then, my friends, my students, bye.